Hi, very good afternoon to all of you. Thank you for joining us for this weekly presser. I don't have any immediate announcement. I'll take questions. I'm going to start with Tima.
Good evening, everyone. This is Vinita Pandey from the Asian Age Deccan Chronicle. My question is on Canada. We heard the foreign minister say that they're engaging with India through private channels on the expulsion of the diplomats. Is there any update that you would like to give us on?
Foreign Minister of Canada's comments.
Yes.
Update on?
She said that she's talking to India. That she's engaging India in private conversation with regard to repatriation of the diplomats. So any development on
what's
that?
your query?
The question is that has the talk begun? Has her team met the Indian side on removing the 41 diplomats that are extra?
Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Yes.
So Ayush Agarwal from ANI. So my question is regarding the closure of the Afghan embassy in New Delhi. They recently put out a statement where they said there was a lack of support from the host government from India. So your comment on that. Also, what would be the fallout of this on the Afghans living in India, especially the students?
Okay. Yeah, John, I'll take it.
John Reed from the FT. Is it true, as we've been told, that India has given Canada a deadline of October 10th to repatriate about 41 of its diplomats? And if they were to stay beyond that date, what would India do? Would they become persona non grata? And have you also identified who these people should be and told Canada who they should send back? Thank you.
Okay. Siddhant.
So Siddhant from Vion. So what's India's view or reaction when it comes to the change of guard in Maldives? We know that the elections happened and someone who's of course an opposition candidate won the elections.
Okay, I saw another hand. Yeah, Yashi. Same question. Yeah. Yeah.
So this is Yeshi Seli from the New Indian Express. A week, 10 days back, the ambassador, the US ambassador to Pakistan had gone to Balochistan, and Eric Garcetti, when he questioned him, said that if we can go to Kashmir for G20, I see no harm in his going to Balochistan. Any comments on that?
Which part? The comment or the actual visit?
No,
Both.
Pakistan, sorry, I stand corrected. So, any comment?
No, comment on what? The comment on the visit or the comment on the comment?
No, comment on what Ambassador Garcetti said.
But not on the visit.
Matter, and
But not on the visit.
Go there, they can come here.
Ask you a tough question.
Does oppose, dignitaries and diplomats.
It's okay. I'll try to answer your question. Okay, I'll come in next round of it. I think there's some interesting. Okay, let me start. Why don't I start, Yashi, with your query on the state comment or the visit? Let me answer both. Look, I think our position on the status of the entire union territory of Jammu and Kashmir, that being an integral part of India, is well known. We would urge the international community to respect our sovereignty and territorial integrity. We have raised our concerns about that visit by the the US ambassador to Pakistan with the US side. And as regards your comment also, I think Ambassador Garcetti's comment, we don't think the two situations are equivalent. As regards the issue of Afghan embassy, Ayushi, look, on that one, our understanding is that the embassy in New Delhi is functioning or continuing to function. We are in touch with the Afghan diplomats who are there in that embassy, as well as with the Afghan diplomats who are at the consulates in Mumbai and Hyderabad. However, we received a communication last week purportedly from the embassy indicating that it intends to suspend operations at the end of September, I think it was. So, of course, such a decision is an internal matter of a foreign mission. However, we have noted that the Afghan consulates general in Mumbai and in Hyderabad voiced their objection to that decision or to such a decision. We are also aware of that there has been a prolonged absence of the ambassador, and that a large number of Afghan diplomats have left India in recent past. You asked about what would be the difficulties with the students. We would hope that the substantial number of Afghan nationals in India, including students, are able to continue to receive necessary consular support. On our part, we will continue with our efforts to assist the people of Afghanistan, and I think that takes care of both your concerns that you mentioned. Siddhant, before I come to Canada, so on the issue of Maldives, look, you would have seen the media developments in there. Prime Minister was the first leader to convey greetings and felicitations to the President-elect. Prime Minister conveyed and reaffirmed India's commitment to strengthen the time-tested India-Maldives bilateral relationship and enhancing overall cooperation in the Indian Ocean region. Subsequently, yesterday, I think, our High Commissioner in Malé also called on the President-elect. He had a good discussion on various aspects of our bilateral partnership, including development cooperation. Let me take the opportunity to congratulate the Maldivian people for once again demonstrating their faith in democratic governance and constitutional processes that reflect their firm commitment to the values of democracy and the rule of law. On the issue of, John, your question as well as I think Vinita's question on talks, basically on Canada. Look, you would recall last week we had a substantial, quite a lengthy conversation on Canada. Insofar as discussions on parity, as we mentioned earlier, given the much higher diplomatic presence of Canadian diplomats or diplomatic presence here in Canada and their continuing interference in our internal affairs, we have sought parity in our respective diplomatic presence. Discussions are ongoing on the modalities of achieving this. Specific question by you, John, regarding dates, etc. Look, I would not like to get into the details of diplomatic conversations. As we mentioned, I think last week, given that Canadian diplomatic presence is very much higher, we would assume that there would be a reduction. I think that's broadly covers those issues. Next. Please go ahead, since I'll come to you. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, Shashank, go ahead.
With the Mint. So just to follow up on Siddhant's question, the newly elected Maldivian president-elect mentioned his intention to ask Indian troops to leave the Maldives. Did our High Commissioner raise that concern with the newly elected president?
Okay. Pia.
Hi, Pia with the Print. It has been made aware that the consul generals from the Afghan consulates were in Delhi to meet the MEA earlier this week. Is there any plan to shift diplomats from Afghan consulates to the mission in Delhi? And will there be any replacement of the former ambassador Fareed Mohammed? Thank you.
Replacement of ambassador. Okay. Please.
सर मधुरेंद्र मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से अमेरिकी रिपोर्ट के मुताबिक चीन जो है वो डिसेप्टिव मेथड्स को यूज़ कर रहा है डिसइंफॉर्मेशन के लिए। भारत में भी जिस तरह के निवेश सामने आया और उसके बाद ईडी के एक्शंस भी दिखाई दे रहे हैं, क्या आपका रिएक्शन है चीन का अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मीडिया में इंटरफेरेंस और भारत की मीडिया में भी इंटरफेरेंस को लेकर?
ओके, स्पेसिफिक आप कुछ कहना चाहे, मतलब जनरली?
नहीं, सवाल अमेरिकन रिपोर्ट्स पर है जो कहता है कि डिसेप्टिव मेथड्स का इस्तेमाल चीन कर रहा है मैनिपुलेट करने के लिए अंतर्राष्ट्रीय मीडिया को।
ठीक है। Somebody else had a hand up. Kalul, I'll come to you. Yeah, Kalul, go ahead.
Kalul from The Hindu. Taking that question forward, there is this American entrepreneur, Neville Singham, who has hit the headlines for his support to various media initiatives. Do you think the Indian government would take it up with the US counterpart on the issue of Neville Singham's media initiatives that are related to India, including the latest NewsClick issue?
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Geeta Mohan with India Today. This is regarding Khalistanis not in Canada but in the United States of America and London. You have Paramjeet Singh Pamma, who took part in the protests outside the Indian High Commission. He is an NIA wanted, a wanted criminal in the NIA list and is wanted terrorist, not a criminal. And on the other hand, US State Department, when asked about Sikhs for Justice, said that they have a right to protest. It is enshrined in the Constitution of America. Your comments on Khalistanis being given space in the US and in the UK?
Okay, let me take this round and I'll come back to another one. Okay, Shashank, your query, where is Shashank? There you go. Shashank, your query on Maldives, I mean, you specifically, I think, talk about cooperation security sector. Look, all I would say is I don't want to comment, and I think you talked about media reports, to be honest. The focus of our partnership with Maldives has always been on capacity building and working together to address our shared challenges and priorities, including security challenges and priorities. As neighbors, we need to collaborate closely to address these challenges confronting our region, such as transnational crimes as well as HADR, humanitarian assistance, disaster relief situations. We look forward to engaging with the new administration in Maldives on all these issues. On the issue of Geeta on Khalistan that you mentioned, as well as in security, look, I wasn't sure in what context the US, you referred to a statement, I understand, from the US, was the State Department you said or something? But look, let me just say, we have been taking up concerns about the security of our diplomats and our premises and other elements related to people there who are wanted by our security or our judicial systems. And we will continue to do that, and that's an ongoing conversation. I don't want to get into individual persons, but in the UK there was a protest on 2nd October, and we certainly have taken up our concerns on the security of diplomats and premises there with the UK authorities, and this has been ongoing thing. The issue is about security, about ensuring that our diplomats are able to function normally and our premises are safe and that the community is not targeted. I think that's a broad element. I don't want to get into individual cases. Pia, your question was related to the consul generals or something, a replacement ambassador. It's a very, very hypothetical and speculative question, I must say. Let me answer what I can, which is that, yes, of course, as I mentioned, we are in touch with the Afghan diplomats, as I mentioned, not only just in Delhi, but also in their consulates in Mumbai and in Hyderabad. In terms of, they are discussing what would be the future action, what would they like to do in terms of their message that they gave. We are no one to, they are foreign diplomats. We are not going to be discussing what they will do, who will replace whom. I think that's not within the remit of the government of India. So if I got your question right, you said replacement ambassador, and they're discussing. Yes, we are discussing. We are in touch. We said that what is their plans, and I mentioned that I think in my opening remarks, that what would be their future course of action. But beyond that, I don't have anything particular to share. मधुरेंद्र जी, आपका प्रश्न था about US रिपोर्ट की चाइना कुछ कर रहा है इस तरह से. देखिए, ऐसे कमेंट्स में मैं ऐसे रिपोर्ट्स में कह नहीं सकता. अगर कोई भी कोई हमारे देश के कोई कानून का उल्लंघन हो रहा है या उस तरह के कुछ हो रहा है, तो हमारे एजेंसीज एक्शन लेंगी उन पे. और इसके अलावा स्पेकुलेटिव रिपोर्ट्स में कमेंट नहीं करना चाहूँगा. Kalul, on your query, again, I don't know why in specific context that one individual or otherwise, if our agencies find that there have been violations of our law by an entity or an individual and it requires assistance or reaching out to foreign governments, we do that. And we would do that if our agencies asked us, as and when they do. I don't have anything specific to share on one individual or a particular case. Okay, is there one more question? No, not your second. Yeah, ma'am, no, you are going to. Yeah, go ahead.
कादम्बरी शर्मा फ्रॉम NDTV. एक खबर छपी है स्कॉटलैंड के गुरुद्वारे में जो घटना हुई थी उसको लेकर कि पुलिस रिपोर्ट ने कहा है उसको जांच करने के बाद कि उसमें कोई क्रिमिनलिटी नहीं है. क्या इसको आगे टेकअप किया जा रहा है?
ये जो हमारे हाई कमिश्नर
और गुरुद्वारा के साथ.
ओके. Sudhi? Microphone. Microphone, please. If not, then I'll go somebody else.
Sir, Sudhi Ranjan from Bloomberg. On the Canada issue, sir, if you could give us an understanding as to when or by which time you expect India and Canada to get the parity on diplomatic staff. Also, drawing your attention to a recent report by the Politico, which says that US ambassador has kind of informed the staff that they are curtailing or cutting down interaction with Indian officials, and this follows India's pact with Canada. if you can comment on that.
They're completely two separate questions. Please say there are two separate questions.
Sorry, two separate questions.
Okay,
but
yes,
related to Canada.
That's okay. Go ahead. Yeah.
My question is with regards to
If you could introduce yourself for
Megha Sharma, I'm from NewsX.
Yeah.
My question is regarding the Maldivian president who has been elected recently and saying that he's going to cut down, in fact remove all the Indian military troops because they are staying.
I just answered that, but I'm happy to.
You've asked.
I just answered this one, but I think you just walked in late.
I just walked.
I'll happy to repeat that to you.
Okay. And the second question
No,
I
please,
wanted to ask
I think
was
we already.
with regards to the Prime Minister of Canada coming out and saying that he wants the diplomats to be present in India so as to ease out the visa processing for students and Indian nationals. What is the response of the Indian government? How are you then going to felicitate these visas if the diplomats are not present?
Okay, hold on. I think suddenly your interest has come up. I'll go with Suhasini. I'll come to that. Just a second. Yeah.
Two separate questions. Please, one is a follow-up. It's only a few months since India actually asked Canada to hasten its visa process by cutting down 2/3 of the Canadian mission's diplomatic staff. Do you anticipate a decrease in the number of visas that the Canadian High Commission may be able to provide, particularly in states like Punjab and Gujarat, and for students who might be going for the fall or the spring terms in Canada? And how are you hoping to work around that, since the MEA does get involved in such consular issues? And my second question is about the Afghan embassy, because I don't think you've responded to the question yet on the specific allegations against the Ministry of External Affairs for failing to provide support to the Afghan embassy. This includes things like exit visas for Afghan diplomats posted here, visas for their families to either come here or to leave from here, as well as what they stated was their duty to help Afghan students. They named about 3,000 of them who are stuck inside Afghanistan, have admissions to Indian colleges, and have not received a single visa for 2 years now.
So, I've read that story. I don't. Okay, I'll take one more. I think you raised your hand earlier, and then I'll come to another round, and then we have to wrap up.
Nirmala with the Straits Times. This is also a follow-up to the Afghan question. You mentioned that the government has provided assistance or is looking at providing assistance to Afghan nationals in India. Could you please elaborate on that? And also, there are a lot of students in India whose visas have expired or whose passports have expired. So, what is the message to them?
Message as
in what, how,
okay.
in terms of help.
Fair enough. Let me try. Are there a lot more questions, or we wrap it up in this round? No, the second ones are. Okay, I'll come back. There are more than 3. Okay. Let me start with the ones on Canada. Look, so as I said, I think there are conversations that are ongoing, and I don't want to get into details of diplomatic conversations as and when we have something to share on that. But as I mentioned, we have sought parity and have outlined the reasons why. I think so that I would, on the report that you mentioned, okay, since I'm doing some political report I also saw, but I saw also a statement by the US spokesperson here of the embassy saying that he dismisses those reports. In any case, I'm not going to comment on them. There is an internal report of somebody saying something on the US side, but the US, I think, State Department or the embassy here has just dismissed those reports, I think, a few minutes ago. So I don't need to comment on them, hopefully. Similarly, I think this question relating to Suhasini related to Canada, and also Megha, I just on the Canada, I'll come to that. Maldivians, you can please take it. I have already answered the question on cooperation. On Suhasini, on the defense part, look, on the issue you mentioned on specifically on visas, right? Now, yes, we had, I think, initially talked about expired visas for those who are required, but let me also clarify in the context of the parity, it's up to the Canadian side who they choose to staff their High Commission with. So I would refer you to details of, for them, for any details in this regard. Our concerns are related to ensuring parity in diplomatic presence. And again, as I said, why? And I think, that's been a focus very clearly. On the issue of Prime Minister of Canada, Megha, you had mentioned about ease of visa processing, they should stay. Again, as I said, we are looking at parity. We are looking at the fact that there have been interference and there has been a much higher number of Canadian diplomats here, and hence though the discussions on achieving parity are ongoing. And rest of it, I can't comment on it yet. Obviously, if the parity is achieved, given that Canada has a much larger number of people there, would likely be a reduction in the numbers. As I said, our focus is on ensuring parity. It is possible, as I said, the Canadian side may choose who they staff their High Commission with. I wanted to mention also about, I think Afghanistan came up, right? Afghanistan on Nirmala, your question was about what should they... Look, on the consular services, it's for the Afghan embassy, the consulates to provide. Okay. In terms of assistance, we have whoever are here, the visas have been regularized, they've been staying here if they are unable to return or some other reason. So Afghan nationals are here. They're here for various reasons. Some are the students, some have been done ITech courses. Those who are unable to return, their visas are being regularized on an ongoing basis. We've also announced now, I think ICCR a few weeks ago, just 1,000 courses and online courses for students from Afghanistan. Our assistance programs for the people of Afghanistan have continued. We have a technical team precisely for that reason in Kabul, so that we are able to continue that assistance. Suhasini, your larger issue of the comments, look, I don't want to get into a statement which they have made, which I said there are discussions and others have disagreed. But let me just make a general comment, is that I don't think facts bear out what the, I won't say allegations, but those statements are in what you have referred to. I don't think they're factually correct, and I don't think that's accurate, many of them. But again, I don't want to get into a discussion on that. We are in touch with diplomats here, as I said, in the embassy here and in the consulates. I don't wish to get into an issue which is more specifically on a letter. कदमनी, आपका प्रश्न था गुरुद्वारा के बारे में जी, उसमें जो इंसिडेंट हुआ था ग्लासगो में, उसी के बारे में आप जिक्र कर रहे थे, जिसमें हमारे उच्चायोग ने एक पूरी उसमें बयान और स्टेटमेंट दे रखी है. आज हमने देखा कुछ रिपोर्ट है, पर वो अभी हाल ही की बात है कि और कोई क्रिमिनल एक्टिविटी नहीं है. देखिए, वो इंडिविजुअल केस टेकअप करेंगे या नहीं, मैं अभी कहना नहीं चाहता हूँ. हम भी देखेंगे एग्जैक्टली उन्होंने क्या देखा था उस इंडिविजुअल के बारे में. बट जैसा कि उन्होंने, हमारे उच्चायोग ने कहा है कि हमारे हाई कमीशन को रोका गया या थ्रेटन किया गया, ये हम एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर सकते. इसीलिए इसको हमने यूके हाई अथॉरिटीज़ के साथ रेज़ किया था, और हम करते रहेंगे ताकि हमारे डिप्लोमेट्स वहाँ पे नॉर्मल तरीके से अपनी जो कार्य है वो कर सकें और उनके पास कोई बाधा ना हो, ना कोई ऐसे सिक्योरिटी थ्रेट उनके ऊपर आए. Yeah, let me take a last round quickly because I think we are running out of time. No, as I said, hold on. You haven't asked. I'll go with you. I'll take 3, 4. Sorry, I can't do everyone. I think everybody has questions. आप करना चाहेंगे? You start up. Okay, please. Microphone behind you. Yeah.
सर, मैं विशाल हूँ जी न्यूज़ से. हमने देखा कि जब से कनाडा के प्रधानमंत्री ने बेबुनियाद आरोप लगाए और भारत ने एक कड़ा रुख अपनाया, उसके बाद कनाडा के पीएम के बयान लगातार बदल रहे थे. हमने उनका एक बयान सुना जिसमें उन्होंने कहा कि भारत एक बढ़ती आर्थिक शक्ति है और महत्वपूर्ण भू राजनीतिक ताकत है और हम घनिष्ठ संबंध बनाने के लिए गंभीर हैं. क्या आपको लगता है कि ये बयान भारत के कड़े रुख को देखते हुए कनाडा की तरफ से आया है?
कनाडा पे और कोई सवाल? Anybody else has any question on Canada? Because that's the third round. No other question on Canada? That's the last one. You have a Canada question? Please, I'll take you first. Yeah.
Sandhya, ET. Has Canada shared any information with India on with respect to the investigation on the Niger matter in last 1 week? Thanks.
In the last one, I love the specificity. Okay, non-Canada. Okay, I don't want any further on. Okay, why don't we start with
This is Manas from PTI. Again on the Afghan embassy issue. So for MEA, actually, is Farid Mamunjai no longer the ambassador of Afghanistan in India? That's the clarification.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, please.
सर, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से. मेरा सवाल यह है कि नेपाल के एक शहर में 2 समुदायों के बीच ऐसे दंगे भड़के हैं कि लॉकडाउन और कर्फ्यू की नौबत आ गई है, क्योंकि वो इलाका भारत से सटा हुआ है. तो क्या हमारी इस पर कुछ प्रतिक्रिया है?
आप नेपाल की बात कर रहे हैं ना?
जी जी, नेपाल.
Okay. Yeah. Quick,
so I'm Urvishikuna from the New Indian. My question is about several complaints that MEA has received regarding Afghan envoy and the team coming out and extorting huge amount of money in the name of visa, and visa seekers have yet not received it. What is the status of? I think there is spree of complaints that MEA has received.
Okay. No, before you, आपने हाथ उठाया, please, both of you on.
Dhairy Maheshwari, Sputnik India. My question is about the Moscow format talks. What was India's message to the Taliban at that forum, and was there any official contact with the Taliban delegation as well? Thank you, sir.
Okay. Yeah.
So Rishabh from Times Now. So on 26 September, a UK MP, Andrew Gwynn, has visited POK, called POK Azad Kashmir, and said that we will create pressure on India for plebiscite. What's MEA's reaction to it?
To what? The visit?
The visit and the comment that we will create pressure on India for a plebiscite, UN monitored plebiscite.
And this was when?
26 September.
Okay. 26 September.
So video has just come out.
Oh, okay, that's why. See, you ask faster usually. Yeah, go ahead. We really have to close. It's getting very long.
Sir, I'm Abhishek Jha from CNN News 18. My question is regarding US State Department's regular, almost on daily basis statements regarding their concern on the allegations of Canadian government.
I will not take any further question
no,
on Canada.
So my question is
on
the issue, on the meeting of External Affairs Minister jaishankar and his counterpart in USA. They said that the conversation happened on the issue of Canada also. What kind of concern US expressed, or what kind of talk happened on the topic?
On the talks.
On Canada.
No, anything you're missing out? So I see second question. I think we're behind time today. Anything particularly really raising a hand? What?
So Shashank Mattu with the mid. So we've seen the fighting between Armenia and Azerbaijan over, say, in Nagorno-Karabakh. The republic has now been dissolved, and tens of thousands of people have left. There are allegations of ethnic cleansing.
I'm aware of the developments. What's your query?
What is India's
comment on that? Okay. Anything else different that I'm missing out? No. A variation? Okay. Thank you. Okay, let me try to answer some of them. Canada, विशाल आपने उनसे पूछना पड़ेगा उन्होंने कैसे किया. मैं स्पेकुलेट ऐसा नहीं कर रहा हूँ उन्हें क्या कहा. हमारा जो रुख है हमने दो चीज़ों पे काफ़ी जोर दिया है कि वहाँ एक तो ऐसा सिक्योरिटी का सिचुएशन रहे कि हमारे डिप्लोमेट्स नॉर्मल तरीके से काम कर पाएँ, और यहाँ पे हम पैरिटी देख रहे हैं हमारे एम्बसीज के बीच में जितने मैन पावर यहाँ पे डिप्लोमेट्स हैं. मैं बाकी चीज़ पे कुछ कमेंट करने के पोजीशन पे नहीं हूँ. संध्या, योर क्वेरी वाज ऑन हैज़ एनीथिंग बीन shared in the recent one. Look, I would refer you to what External Affairs Minister has been saying. He said this in a couple of places during his recent visit. He said, if anything specific or relevant information is shared, we are open to looking at it. And let me reiterate that. I think that's exactly how we would like to respond to that query. I think he said that, and I think that's best. I think that would be the best response to that. On the issue, Abhishek, since you raised it in the context of this, again, I think you saw External Affairs Minister give a press conference. He also spoke about it on various occasions. His conversations, he talked about that it was discussed, and he gave a sense of the conversation. I don't think I want to add to anything he's already said in the US on that, so I think I'll leave that. There was a query about POK, Rishabh, I think your query was there. No, sorry, your question was on POK. Look, as I said, I think I can just repeat what I've been saying about visitors. We would request international community to respect our sovereignty and territorial integrity. You know our position on the areas of Pakistan-occupied Kashmir and how we look at the entire territory, Union territory, as integral part of India. And so that would be my comment on it. I don't have anything particular. As you said, the video has just come out. I don't know if our mission has taken it up, but we normally convey our concerns on such things on a regular basis, if whenever we see such development. Regarding Afghanistan, there are a couple of questions. Look, Urvashi, I don't know who asked about no longer the ambassador. No, that was Manish. I don't know what is the basis of that. I'm just telling you the developments. We've seen the note. We are talking to diplomats who are here. Whoever is here is a diplomat at the Afghan embassy here. I don't see anything that leads me to that. You mentioned Afghan embassy envoy, some complaints, Urvashi. I am sorry, I'm not going to get into issues on foreign diplomats here. Those are internal, and those are within as the part of diplomatic practice. Dhairya, on the issue of statement, I think we put out something about a conversation there. We participated in these talks. This is not the first time. We are guided by UN Security Council Resolution 2593, and we have always wanted, inclusive government, and we have as well as respect for women rights and various other requirements. We are guided by our desire to have closer possible relations with the Afghan people and how we can assist them. I don't want to give anything specific more than that, because I think these were internal conversations, and but I think we have been participating, and I think there's the feeling that our contribution is important, and we are important players with this. On the issue, I missed out one. Neeraj, who mentioned that one? Neeraj Dubey ji, आपका प्रश्न था नेपाल पे. जी वो नेपाल के उस पे टेरिटरी में है, मैं बिल्कुल कुछ कहना नहीं चाहूँगा. आई एम श्योर नेपालीज अथॉरिटीज़ उसमें डील कर रहे हैं. On the issue of I think Nagorno-Karabakh, I think you asked this. Look, we are aware of the reports regarding the developments that you have referred to. We, of course, continue to monitor the situation. We also encourage the parties to move forward on ensuring long-term peace and security in the region through dialogue and diplomacy, which includes the safety and well-being of all civilians. Okay, I think that, unless I missed something else. Okay, thank you very much for joining this press conference. Good evening.